Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of me playing Minecraft here. We are indeed in the playland, and as you can see from last time, we got quite a bit of pathway work done, which is very nice. My voice may end up sounding a little bit different here, and that is because I have a new headset that I went out and got, hoping to alleviate some of those issues that were going on last time. Let me turn the volume down just a smidgen for me, just so it's getting used to that kind of things here. But as we start off, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So we've got 1.5 million chickens over there, so I figured we might as well go ahead and harvest them. Oh, I didn't think I was gonna make that. Figured we might as well go ahead and harvest those guys there. And oh, I am not sprinting anymore. And eggs are just getting thrown around everywhere now. So let's get our little splash potion here. And how many entities do we have? F3 it up. Where am I looking? Entities. Only about 80. Not too terribly many, but it'll give us a little bit of a wasted XP. But again, you're gonna die if you come over here, guy. I highly suggest you go run somewhere else, because I'm about to throw a potion, and it's not gonna be good times for you. All right, let's go ahead and F3 that off. Yep. See, these guys down here laying eggs, and those guys are not being put into here because that's completely full, and so is the hopper that connects it. So let's kablamo. Ouch, hurt us a little bit here. But we are mostly going to jump on in here, not for the XP. No, this is a bit of a passive XP farm, and we didn't even kill everybody with that potion. We did enough damage there to take care of them, it looks like. Go ahead and replace the dirt. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few. By a few, I'm going to fill up my inventory as much as possible and put them all up in here. Okay, that's full for now, and that farm will keep on keeping on. But while that's doing its thing, wow, there's just 1 million eggs still coming, which, if I'm honest, is exactly what I expected. So let's jump on up here into the cylinder, and cook up the chickens, put our excess chickens away, and then we're going to get back to work on the path making, because like I said last episode, that is indeed going to be the most important thing in terms of our next sort of builds and projects, and just sort of being able to map them out ahead of time. And I figured while I do this stuff, I can do a bit of a so what's the video game equivalent of a vlog or a blog? Would be like a glog, a game log. So I guess I'm going to do a little bit of a glog here, and just talk about sort of things that have been going on. I went yesterday to get a headset because I was just sick of the one that I was using previously for, let's actually cook them up, not just throw them in the chest there, that I was using previously, because the one that I was using before on the other videos is one that I just got from, do I have a place to put eggs? Because I mistakenly clogged my inventory. Let's put feathers away. That'll open up a couple slots, right? And we got quite a bit, of flint there. But okay, no, we won't replace it right away. I can put the bone meal up in here, which is perfectly fine. And that bow is still just enchanted as bow with no real enchantments, which is a bit disappointing. Figured they would go ahead and fix that. Did I not? I guess I didn't put all the flint I had over a stack. I must have. We've got a lot of coal, which we might as well just go ahead and put in here, because that wonderful Fortune 2 that we got on pick. And I think before getting back to work on there, we're gonna have to bring that guy up. So let's. Do I have a anvil in here anymore? I do. Okay. So what would it cost? We're just gonna go ahead and make ourselves a new shovel, although I don't have any sticks. And I got distracted from what I was originally doing up here. So let's refocus here. junk drawer, we could put some of these eggs in the junk drawer, I suppose. But, okay, let's put the iron away. And I was just over there to put the other iron away, this iron, but no, nope, couldn't do that. Put the watermelons in here. Oops. Meant to shift click, but that didn't quite work. Ender pearls are also... I killed an enderman, he almost killed me because I had my armor off to take the screenshot. Excuse me while I move my chair around here a little bit. I took a screenshot, and so I took off my armor there so you could see my face on the channel as my channel face thing. And he almost completely destroyed me in like 2 hits. Okay. Do we have all of the chickens cooking? No, we've got 4 extras, and I'm sure it's been plenty enough time to cook at least 4 up. Yep, we got about 12 guys in there, so we can replace those right away. And it looks like it's going to be nighttime here pretty soon. I need to grab a stick, though. Let's grab a couple, or just 2. Then we'll come on over here, make ourselves a new shovel, because I guarantee it's going to cost more diamonds, more of these guys, than 1 to fully repair. So if we throw this in here and this in here, it's going to have, how many? That's 1, that's 2, and then it costs 3, or just go ahead and throw a brand spanking new shovel in there, and we'll be good to go. Now the question is, do I want to do it now or do I want to wait? See, if I do it now, I will for sure have enough levels. If I wait, I'll probably end up dying, and I'll probably end up not being able to. So, you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger on that one. And it's just about time to take a little rest, but let's do that while we're thinking about it, and take a little bit of a nap. I wonder if they're ever gonna fix that weird bug mechanic. That weird bug bed mechanic where so I clicked there and it like teleported me here and then into the bed. I'm sure they'll get to that eventually. It's not a huge thing. Okay, we've got 1 piece of dirt and 1 piece of cobble. We might as well just throw that away up in here. I'm hoping... Well... so okay, back to sort of the stories that I was telling. Wow, I didn't think I'd get weird wobble jump on single player. It's more common on multi. So one of the reasons I got this was to try to resolve some of the audio issues I was having with the other recorder, since it was just a piece of junk that I got with Rosetta Stone of all things. And in the little couple tests that I was doing, it seems to have helped a little bit. Maybe not to the level that I would like it to be up to, but I think it's better. And my goal is just to actually get a real microphone. Oh my gosh, there's so many eggs. To get a real actual microphone. I don't remember why I did that. I think I just had it and thought it would be funny. And use that with like a pop type filter, because the biggest issues that I am finding are, and headphone users beware, I'm having issues with the S sound, and I'm sure just saying issues with the S sound was enough to cause quite a bit of, well, issue. And so I need to get sort of like a pop type filter, I guess, to try to alleviate some of that. I really don't know what to do with all these eggs. I don't necessarily feel like standing around and then waiting for this thing to empty and putting them back in. But at the same time, if I don't, the eggs are just going to go to waste and despawn. But I guess it's not the end of the world if they do that. So I guess for now I'm just going to leave them and just say, you know what, forget it. No big deal. Ain't no thing. So, sorry, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but I just smacked the headphone because I'm not used to having, it's an over the ear style of a headphone, and I'm not. Now is this supposed to be above a level? It must be. Oh, I need to grab that though. Need to grab the gravel. It's a over the ear style headphone thing, but so far the headphone quality is amazing compared to, well, the piece of garbage that I was using before. So that's definitely a plus and a good thing. Do I have anything in here? No, good. Gonna have to go caving again to get some more gravel. Also, in the new biomes update, you will be able to go into what's called deep ocean, and the deep ocean will have quite a bit of gravel in it. And by quite a bit, I mean the floor is just absolutely covered in gravel. So there's never going to be an issue in terms of trying to make a gravel pathway again. That will no longer be of concern. So we'll just continue on, just doing sort of our back and forth chopping of the ground, and that will make sort of a semi-random looking pathway, which is a good thing. And then down, we'll have to go down a level, and then we will continue on this way. I doubt I'm going to have enough gravel. I'm sorry, but goodbye. I doubt I'm going to have enough gravel to do the rest of this pathway here, but figured I would go ahead and just give it the old college try and see how far we can go. But, okay, so in terms of interesting things to talk about, since this is a rather mundane and boring task, like I was talking about last time, I am doing a sort of like a, think of it almost as like a teaching internship. And we met for the first time, we met the kids, and this is the first time, probably since, well, no, not probably, I know for a fact, this is the first time that I've been in a kindergarten classroom since, well, I personally was in kindergarten. And so, honestly, it was a bit of a shock, because you don't necessarily realize, like, you can give it you can give the kids an age and you can give them a grade, but it doesn't necessarily translate over into what level they are at in terms of education, linguistics, that's a new word, linguistics, and sorry headphone users for just saying linguistics, because that probably is going to mess up that wonderful S sound, but anyway, it's hard to be able to sort of go into it and go, okay, so I'm going to be, I'll be teaching this age children and be able to sort of understand unless you are in contact on a regular basis. And personally, I am not. I have not been in contact with, a kid who is 4, 5, or 6, which are the sort of ranges of ages of the kids. And so we met with them for the first time today, and honestly, it was a little bit intimidating. I've got zero problem going in front of a class of, 100 students who are college age, my age, or middle school or high school, and sort of doing a lesson, teaching, and that kind of thing. But with these little kids, it was weird. And that is for a couple of reasons. I think the first reason it was sort of odd was the fact that when we were introduced by the kids' actual teachers. So this is sort of a teaching alongside, a co-teaching thing with the teachers at the school, as opposed to we go in and teachers just sit and grade papers. That's not at all what they do. They are with us and they are there in case we make a mistake, which, to be honest, we probably will because we're not professionals necessarily at it, even though we may have a bit of experience. And I say we because I've got a teaching partner who's also in the same program doing the same classrooms with me. So with that being said, they have the kids, and so they are 4, 5, and 6, like I said, and that translates to doing story time, and they're learning their numbers, and they're not necessarily learning words. They understand, obviously, they obviously understand words, but what they're learning is more complex words and putting words and pictures together. So they've got a lot of things, pictures on the walls and stuff like that of the classroom that have the words and stuff posted. And just jump down here real quick. And so it's very strange for me. I guess the main reason before that. Actually, I'm surprised I were able to do this whole path here. It's sort of strange for me because I don't know, I didn't know what to expect because, like I've said, I've done high school, college, and middle school teaching, and so it's been, like I said, since the last time I was in kindergarten, since I've set foot in a kindergarten classroom, let alone, trying to teach a lesson. Place a guy there. Sure. It's a little bit of a skinnier path. I may go through and widen it because I want it to be at least 3 wide in most places here. That's fine. Let's go back here, and of course I'll be going back through and putting the smooth stone and what's the word? Moss stone. Jeez, that took way too much concentration to try to figure out that word. Moss stone and smooth stone and cobblestone. Thank you for the words, self. So, because they're that age, jumping back into the story here, because they are of the age that they are, they do, sit down time in the front of the classroom, and it's just sort of strange because they are so young, their communication skills are, really, really primitive. And so we introduce ourselves. We're having the kids just call us by our last initial of our name. So I'm Mr. Initial, and my co-partner, she's Miss Initial. And so we had the teacher basically said, okay, well, these are going to be our scientists, and they're going to be coming in and teaching you guys some cool science lessons, and so here they are. And so they just basically handed the reins on over, which I had no problem with. My teaching partner seemed a little bit apprehensive, and I think this is the first time she's ever sort of done teaching or anything like that. So that I understand that completely. The first time I went into to do any sort of teaching, it was definitely very nerve-wracking. What if you say something wrong? What if you make a mistake? Anything like that. But it really isn't a big deal at any level of what you are teaching. So, and especially with us, we're working with kids who are so young, they aren't going to know if we make a mistake. And even if we do, doesn't make a difference. They make mistakes all the time, and they just correct whatever if that's necessary, and they move on. So we we introduce ourselves. We say, hey, how's it going? I'm teacher blank, and your teacher, and she's teacher blank. And then we said, okay, are you guys excited to do science? What do you know about science? What have you heard about it? And you get the hands up in the air, and you call on somebody, and I don't know if they're starstruck as much as we are. I mean, I'm sure they don't have a clue that there's any bit of nervousness on our end, because they've never had to in their life go in front of probably a group of people and understand necessarily that can be a sort of a fearful thing that people can have. So the kids, they don't necessarily realize that at all. So they raise their hand up, and you call on them. And the first couple, so we're in 2 different classrooms with 2 different teachers of, I think, 20 and 22, 23, something like that. And the first group, this is their teachers the first time that she's teaching full time at this level. So she said she's done substituting kindergarten through, I think, 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. And so she's a little bit newer at it, and the kids can sort of it's not that the kids pick up on that, but I can pick up on that the kids are, I don't want to say not as advanced, because that's sort of almost demeaning sounding, and that's not what I mean. But the kids are a little bit maybe more apprehensive, and maybe they just haven't gone over the same things. So that could be an issue there. But they were definitely a little bit more apprehensive, and so we said, okay, we're going to be here every 2 weeks. We're going to be teaching you guys a science lesson, and what do you know about science? And so little girl raises her hand, and she goes, well, and then there's like a good 5-10 seconds of silence, and you can see she's squirming a little bit, squirming around. It's funny because at that age they don't conceal things, so everything's completely out in the open, which I think is actually kind of a funny thing, funny in a good way as well. So she's literally just sort of squirming around like, and so, you know, you give her an out. Oh, did you forget? Yeah, I forgot. So it's, you know, that was kind of cute, kind of funny. But after that, we had a couple kids, you know, give sort of these little things. Oh, like I want to know about rocket ships, or I want to know about this, or you know, those are sort of the sciencey things that they know about, which is pretty fun and pretty cool. Almost out of gravel. Did I finish all of the pathways here that I wanted to do? I guess I could jump up here to sort of figure that out, couldn't I? So let's do that. Oh, also in the new update here, you can have any size portals, any size shape, as long as they are connecting. So you can have, you know, a coherent and fluid thing. That is pretty darn cool, I think. But so a couple other people go, and she raises her hand, and you know, oh, do you remember? Yeah, I remember. Okay, what were you gonna say? And she sort of starts telling the story of how she likes to play with her Barbie dolls, and that was pretty funny. Um, I I don't know if I actually just said that or not. If I'm repeating myself, I've got so many things going through my head that I don't remember what I just said and what I wanted to say. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like our pathways are going to be mostly done in terms of the gravel. So let's hop down, grab some cobblestone, smooth stone. I think to get smooth stone though, I'm going to have to go up to the cylinder, the main cylinder. So we'll grab our cobble, our mossy, a little bit of dirt, never hurt things either. So put that there, put that there. Ooh, nope. You go here, you go there. And yeah, I don't have any smooth stone. That's going to be up in here, but that's okay, because I will just keep talking as we jump on over to there. And this, I wasn't really actually planning on doing a video. I was going to wait until tomorrow, because today's Friday. This video will probably go up the same day as I'm usually one to do. But so after we sort of did that, we introduced ourselves and they told us some stories, and we said, okay, well, we have to go now, so we have to go to the other classroom and meet your other students and stuff. And that's sort of the other thing that's kind of funny is the way that you have to talk to them. I mean, you don't have to, of course, but it's sort of just how it's almost a natural thing. When they're that age, I mean, you know, like my instructor sort of said, they are the littlest of the little people, and that's definitely true. I mean, they are tiny. Smooth stone, that's what I came for. They're tiny little humans, mini humans as I like to call them. I actually have a couple friends who are probably that height, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about height so much. But anyway, irrelevant. Let's have a little snack here on our way down. So we say our goodbyes and everything like that. And the first group really wasn't that interested, to be honest. They sort of, they were maybe semi-interested. They, oh, you know, new people, okay. It very well could have been that because the new teacher is, well, new, that she doesn't have them, and I don't want this to come off in a negative way, because it's not, but she doesn't necessarily have them as well trained, and that's not meant to be a negative term at all or a derogatory term at all. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation is when you're that young, you are being trained. I mean, you're being trained throughout your whole life. So I don't mean that term at all to be a negative or offensive term. But they maybe just weren't as trained on that they should be excited that there's somebody here. You know, especially at that age, you really don't, honestly, you really don't know what's going on. You know, some lady tells you to do something and you go and do it. That's sort of the reality of the situation. So basically, I'm just going to go through and randomly cut things out, and then we'll go back through and fill them in, although I'm not going to know necessarily that was broken, but we'll see. So we go over to the other classroom, and she's more experienced. She's been doing this for quite a few years, and not only just teaching her kids, but also having you know, potential teachers like my co-teacher and I come in and just do this whole sort of process. So she's very used to the whole thing, and so we come in and we're supposed to do an observation of the classroom and observe the teacher. That was basically the main sort of goal of today's sort of interaction, which is sort of to see how things are, see how the kids interact, see how the adults interact with the kids, and all that kind of stuff. So we've got this form that we're to fill out, and so we went and did that. Oop, took one too many there. So we did, and then she was telling a story at the time. So she's reading a story to the kids, and the kids were a lot more engaged, it seemed like. And she would call on the kids individually to have them answer, and so everybody had a turn to answer as well, which was something that I noticed, and I thought was a good thing, and I liked because it made things quote unquote fair. And when you're that age, fairness is everything. That's what matters the most. Is, oh, this isn't fair, that isn't fair. It's funny because as you interact with kids, they tend to end up acting that way. This isn't fair, that's not fair. Life, things are supposed to be fair. And as we, as adults, grow up, we realize life is far from fair. Ain't that the truth? So we go in, and she introduces us, and so we do the same thing. I'm Mr. Blank, and this is my co-teacher, Mrs. Blank. And they, hi. She had the kids, hi, Mr. Blank, hi, Mrs. Which is really cute, to be honest. I mean, that was pretty fun. And then from there, we said, okay, we're going to be doing the next couple weeks here. We're going to be coming in and teaching you guys science lessons. Do you guys like science? Do you know science? And again, we had, a couple kids who were a little bit on the sheepish side, that were a little bit quieter and didn't necessarily know what to say, or maybe they were just intimidated by us being in there because we are something new. There are definitely those kids out there. I was definitely one of those kids, to be completely honest. I was a very, very, very shy kid. I mean, people who are pretty close with me know how shy I really was. So I think I'm actually going to do mostly cobble because it blends in pretty well, and I'm going to put in smooth next to cobble, so it looks like we've had this sort of just degradation in certain areas. And I think that's going to end up looking like a cool thing, and then just randomly every once in a while we'll put a mossy in just for looks, and we'll put some dirt in. So actually, let's go back. Put in a piece of dirt there. So that's really degraded through there. Oh, hitting the wrong button. Left and then right. And so we actually spent quite a bit more time talking. Let's actually do a mossy with those kids. And then the first ones were we really didn't talk very much to, because they're sort of like, well, I don't know what to say. The kids are sort of telling unrelated stories. So that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see how we sort of cope with that, and what sort of adjustments we make. Does it get to be nighttime here? It is. So let's just do a couple more here. Then we'll go ahead and take a quick sleep again. But yeah, like I was saying, I was a very shy kid myself. And that's kind of an understatement in some ways. I mean, I was very, very quiet. There's, I guess, I don't want to call it mental disorder because I don't think that's what it is, but a sort of almost on the level of obsessive compulsive type of a thing. I was very audio phobic, so when there was a lot of loud, if there's a lot of loud things and noises going on, I got very sort of not necessarily unnerved, but I would just very shy away from it. I was and I am in some ways still very introverted. I'm definitely an introvert by a lot of means, but I've sort of learned. I've got a learned sort of extroversion where I know time and place where I need to be more extroverted, where I need to be more interactive and talking. Obviously, especially with teaching, you don't have much of a choice. You have to be talking. You can't, sheepishly look at the class and go, okay, I'm going to be very quiet and do this lecture and not want to answer questions and not want to talk to students and look at the ground the whole time. Anybody who's had a class like that knows just how terrible it is. And so that's sort of the other, I guess, reason that I wanted to get into teaching was just to make sure that there were good teachers out there. And to be a good teacher, you really need to be extroverted in the classroom. And so I've definitely acquired and learned how to do that, which I think is a good thing. I'm definitely happy about that. That I've sort of changed into this new, more extroverted person. So like I've said, I definitely want to do some more of the adventure series. It's just son of a gun. Right now, I'm just really a lot more into doing this series here because I want to make progress. There's just a lot of new things that I want to try on this over here in this part of the game, and so that's going to take a bit of a backseat. I'll probably, again, like I said before, end up waiting a little bit longer until there's more of a official and stable release. I am playing on the most current snapshot, though, in this world, which is 13W37B, which I think has quite a bit of update type things in it. So it's got bug fixes and whatnot. So let's just go ahead and finish up the path here, and I'm trying to be at least semi-random. Darn it, lose a piece of smooth stone there because I don't have silk touch. I'll probably end up going through again at some other point. I'm not putting any dirt down. I sort of just realized I'll have to go through and maybe do something about that. Do I have more cobble? Got a little bit on me. Got a little bit more of that. A little bit of that there. We are quickly running out, which is okay because I think we're just about at the end of the line. Who knows? Maybe we'll go crazy and put a couple of a couple of cobble there. And I do remember that I took quite a bit of this out. A couple of the green cobble. Did I just call it the green cobble? The mossy cobble. Nope. Keep double placing for some reason. I am playing on, or not on, but with my Logitech wireless keyboard, mouse and keyboard, and I think I'm liking that. It's probably gonna be quieter. I noticed that when I play with the mouse and keyboard that came with my computer, it's a little bit on the loud side. So let's hop up here, and we're gonna call it an episode from here. Glad to get the paths and whatnot done, and sort of glad to do a little bit of a vloggy thing and just talk about just the different things that are going on. So from here, it's a little bit harder to tell the differences, which is okay. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but let's just hop down and see what it looks like when we're traveling on the path itself. So when you're walking on the path itself, you can definitely see that there are different types. These two textures are really not that much different, and I sort of use the cobble a little bit heavier because they blend in. So I think I'm liking it. I'm gonna go through and put some dirt, I think, but I think that is going to be it for this episode, and hopefully next time, and by next time I mean either tomorrow or Sunday probably, because like I've said, that's really going to be my main recording time, is during those times, the weekends, and maybe some Fridays, maybe some Mondays, although Mondays are mostly going to be lesson plan days, so probably not going to have a ton of time for that. So last block placement of this episode, Quiet Portal. I'm going to go over here, and as we have the midday song playing, I will bid you a farewell. So until next time, I will see you next time.